Okay, Trucker Steve back here, part 4. So we're really rolling a lot of tips. Hopefully, some of them will be very helpful to you. So you're on your CDL road test. Hopefully this situation doesn't come up. You're on a 2-lane road, okay? And vehicles either stopped, broke down, making the delivery, and you as a student are saying, oh, this cannot be happening. You would have to go around that car in the oncoming lane, and this could be risky. If you have to go around the vehicle, you got to make sure oncoming traffic is not, no cars are coming down. So if you go around the vehicle and cars coming down, and you make him stop, you just took his right away. You can't do that. So you got to make sure that you have enough time to go safely around the car and come back into your lane and not interfere with oncoming traffic. So be very careful about this. Make sure you use proper turn signals. Signal your attention that you're going to the left, going around the car. Signal that you're going back. Cancel the signal out properly. So hopefully this situation does not happen to you. So, hopefully, like I said, hopefully it does not happen to you. So, also on your test, similar to what we just talked about, you will have at least 2 lane changes. So the examiners are seeing if you, especially in urban areas, if you can properly change the lane to the left and maybe change the lane back to the right and then come back to the same lane that you came out of, is lane changes. And he's looking to see if you use your mirrors, how you use your turn signals, etc. So proper use of your turn signals, proper lane changes, and coming back in your lane safely. So the examiner may ask you also on your road test, at least two times, what's the sign we just passed? So you should know and be looking at all the signs, especially the height of bridges. That's always one of the signs that an examiner usually would ask for. Yes, the bridge height was 13.6. Okay. The sign was bear off to the left. The sign was a school zone, etc. So know the signs, especially if it's you working with a third-party testing school. You should know what the test route is. Get in your own car and drive that route several times and get to know the area and know the lights, etc. So that was that. That's tip round number 15 or so. Another thing let's talk about is you're grinding gears like crazy. Look, examiners don't expect you to be so perfect out there. Yes, you'll grind some gears. As long as it's not a terrible grind. If it's a bad grind, you'll get a little points here and there. Don't let it get to you. You know, you're a student, you're not going to be perfect. And also the trucks are old most of the time at CDL schools, and that could be an issue too, because the clutch might need adjustment. So, but if you're terrible, you can't shift, and that could be an issue if you're shifting so bad that you're constantly missing gears and maybe you coasting a little bit. If you coast to about 1.5 length of the tractor and trailer, that distance, usually that's an automatic fail because that's an unsafe situation. Or if you're so bad and the examiner says, man, you need to get more training on your shifting, and he could stop the test. But otherwise, grinding is kind of common. You know, if the tractor's in real good shape, you probably wouldn't grind that much. But so that could be, you know, I wouldn't get too bent out of shape about that. That's why I say don't lose points on turns or intersections, things like that. If you don't lose those points, then the points that you might get for grinding wouldn't be as bad. I will see you on the next video, part 5. on passing that CDL road test. Be safe out there. See you in the next run.